Hey there, it's your Bill Estate Agent, and we are here with another episode of my Shop Local series. And today I have Joseph and Ryan Lambert of Joseph's Junk Removal. So, hey guys, thank you for joining me.
Great to be with you.
I'm really excited about this. And guys, you're going to love the story that we're going to hear about in a few minutes. But this is a really neat company that was started locally, and I can't wait to chat. But first, I always start my podcast with a little real estate question. So, are you guys ready?
We're ready.
All right, and you can both answer. So, when searching for homes, and when you're ready to buy a home or your next home, what is your favorite exterior? Is it brick, stone, siding, or stucco?
I'm going to go not stucco, and I'm going to go with a combination of siding and brick.
Oh, okay. Yep. So we'll see that a lot.
Yeah. So my current house in Martin's Landing, I live in Roswell, so it's siding, but I love brick. So I'm looking. My answer to your question is brick, even though I do love my siding at my house right now as well.
All right.
So,
well, I will add that to my list for when we get your next home together. That's great. Okay. No, that's awesome. And I would say that brick and combinations are probably the most common answers I get. So, nice. And I love Martin's Landing, by the way.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's a great neighborhood.
It is.
So, Joseph's Junk Removal, and if you live anywhere in Metro Atlanta, you probably see these little yellow signs everywhere that say Joseph's Junk Removal. And I love the marketing, but we need to hear the story, Joseph. And I know a lot of it, but I can't wait to hear it from you. So, how'd you get started, and what sparked this? And by the way, how old are you?
I'm 22.
Okay.
So
you're super young.
Yeah, I mean it's a good story. It really starts when I was about 12 years old. So just went through some family hardship. Just with various things. Kind of the main part of that was parents got divorced, and I was the oldest of 5 kids, and still am. It's not a past.
Didn't change.
Yeah, it didn't change.
Still big brother.
That's right. Still big brother. But out of that, everybody deals with trauma in different ways. And, my outlet for that was working. I love to work. I actually had a buddy ask me today, he said, what's your motivation for working, 60, 70 hours a week? And I thought about it for a while, and I was like, well, I've never known anything different. It wasn't, really
That's
anything
awesome.
else. So, but those seeds were planted really early on. So at 12 years old, I started mowing lawns after school. I would mow yards until dark. I'd play football and football games on Friday nights, and then get up at 6 a.m. Saturday mornings and mow yards all day. And then I worked in construction with a local contractor from my church. And boy, I learned so much from him. A 13 or 14-hour day was normal. An 8-hour day was unheard of. So I learned really early on, to get my hands dirty, to work really hard, not to complain, and just, what it looked like to, I think, take your work seriously.
Yeah, super strong work ethic.
Absolutely, yeah. I learned a lot about work ethic.
That's awesome.
And then, I was starting little businesses and doing all sorts of different things in the meantime in my neighborhood. Really just, anything anybody would pay me to do, I would figure out a way to do it.
Uh-huh.
And my sophomore year of high school, I was the youngest guy in the grade. I was in a class with a buddy of mine, and we had to start a business on paper. And after we got to the end of the project, we were like, well, by golly, let's just do this thing. Let's actually make it a real business. And it worked out really well because he was about a year and a half older than me. He could drive, I couldn't. So we teamed up. We started the business together. We worked together for about a year. And then after that year, I bought my own car. And we didn't really split ways in the sense we didn't work together, but he kind of took care of more stuff in the Marietta area. I did.
So the model of the business was junk removal and helping people get rid of unwanted items and storage issues, or was this still mowing?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So this was actually strictly landscaping.
Okay.
So,
all right.
And fun fact actually is that business is still running today. So,
okay.
Sam Badgett was my business partner, and he runs a business called Southern Standard Landscaping now. They're absolutely crushing it. He's got about 10 employees and is well into 7 figures doing landscaping. So
nice.
Very successful business. But we semi-parted ways when I was able to drive. And then after that, was when I got into the junk business.
Okay.
And ever since then, I mean, I've learned so much. I've been in it for about 5 years. So I really got into the junk business when I was 17. And, when I graduated high school, well, that's actually a story in and of itself. So
Yeah.
actually
I'll tell that part of it.
Well, go ahead and tell that part.
Well, as Joseph said, it started as a landscaping business and then it evolved into a junk removal business. And, I remember him coming to me just talking about how, hey, Dad, I really think I need to pivot into this junk removal thing for various reasons. But the junk removal thing was taken off while he was in high school. But, by the time Joseph was a junior in high school-ish, he's really focusing on the junk and school became kind of a side thing for him, which wasn't always the best thing. We got some funny calls from some teachers, just kind of, asking us to please tell Joseph not to, if he needs to take business calls, to do that in between classes, not during classes. So the result of that was that actually Joseph, and he's okay with me telling this because it's a great part of the story, he actually didn't graduate. He failed a couple times, a class he needed to graduate because he was so focused on growing Joseph's junk removal and the business was exploding. So finally when he graduated, I like to say he graduated summa cum barely. We got him to the finish line, but it was because Joseph's a natural entrepreneur. He's a great question asker, a hard worker, and those were the ingredients that really helped to build Joseph's junk removal while he was in high school, and then of course after graduating. It really has exploded ever since.
Yeah, well, it's an amazing story, and actually, I've only met Joseph a couple times. We've been together, but I met Ryan through some of my networking groups, and I always assumed that you had started the company and all that, and I'm like, no, Joseph pulled his dad in, and so Ryan, what do you do for the company? You do mostly like the marketing and kind of outreach a little bit, right?
Yeah, I do the marketing. I do, or part of the marketing, because Joseph's actually a pretty natural marketer himself, and we have various people that do stuff. But I do the email marketing, I do the social media, and then a lot of the networking and various other things that I have my hand in. But really, people do make that assumption, Bill, at the various networking groups. They think, well, you must have been really the one to start. I correct them very quick. I say, no. This is Joseph's business.
I remember.
He's the brains behind this. I've really just been coach, cheerleader, and just try to encourage him the best I can. But he has built this business, and I'm just, I work for my son, and I'm very proud of that because he's a great leader and is doing a great job and has built a great company, and I'm proud of him.
Well, I love it, and I remember exactly when the first time you said, you kind of explained the whole structure, and I thought it was really just one of the coolest stories I'd ever heard. So you should be proud. I know you are, but you should be proud, and you especially should be very proud.
Yeah.
So
nobody's been a bigger encourager. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan.
Well, so I am going to tell one quick story, and maybe I'll mark this up to all my networking and all this stuff, but I just had an experience a couple months ago where my mother-in-law had a storage unit that she was giving all the furniture and the stuff that she had away, and when we got to the storage unit to help load it on a truck, it had been infested by rats, and just it was awful, and we certainly weren't going to give it to anyone. So I had about 18 hours to get everything out of the storage unit, and so I called Ryan. I bypassed the office number and went straight to the red phone, and
you're like,
and
we need help.
And within the allotted time, I had a crew that came out and gave us a great price, and we had it all cleared out, and they were just awesome to work with. So.
Thank you.
I'm awesome. A fan. Good stuff.
I'm a fan, yes.
Love to hear it.
So, and speaking of that, why don't you, just briefly, there's a couple things I want to touch on still, but what is the structure? Like if someone wants to have y'all come out and give a quote, you want to go through that real quick, or how you guys work?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's really simple. So you go to our website, josephsjunkremoval.com. You can book an online appointment, or you can just call or text the number that is, on the website or anywhere else. You can find a number that's attached to Joseph's Junk Removal, and there's a great customer service team that is ready to help with whatever you have. The way the structure, though, of getting a price, which is a common question, is we'll send a team out on site. They will assess everything, give you a written estimate, And then if you approve the estimate they give you, they load it up right there and get it out of your way. So it's a one-stop shop. It's not a bunch of time or work on your end. You don't have to do any of the lifting and loading. They obviously do all of that for you. You just schedule the appointment, meet the guys when they're there, and they will take it from there.
It's pretty seamless. I mean, I've used y'all a couple times. It's a pretty easy process. One thing you mentioned to me earlier when we were talking before was your leadership development within your organization. And do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So our mission statement at Joseph's Junk Removal is to build leaders and pursue growth while providing award-winning service. So, what that means for us practically is we have a leadership development program. So any new hire that comes into Joseph's Junk Removal, they are assigned a mentor. And that mentor is responsible for guiding them through their first 12 weeks at Joseph's Junk Removal and to provide, a clear avenue to answer questions or just provide help after that. But in that 12 weeks, they'll finish reading 3 books on their own time. Probably the most well-known one's going to be Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink. And then they're going to also go through their training that goes through, just practical training on how to do the job, but also training in how we do business, how we communicate with each other, how we communicate with clients. And really the goal with that is, whether this new hire leaves us in 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years, or 30 years, it will be an experience that positively impacts them personally and professionally. Awesome. So that's our goal, is to build leaders and pursue growth at an individual level and at a company level. And then we believe the byproduct of that will be award-winning service.
How large is your company now? How many employees?
We've got about 35 employees.
That's awesome. How many trucks do you have that go out?
It's about 8.
Well, and so I did want to ask too, because I feel like I've heard in the last few months, are you now offering some moving services or furniture moving as well?
Yeah, so we offer an in-home moving service.
Okay.
So anything that needs to be moved around. So like if you need to stage furniture and move a couch from one room to another, we can certainly help with that. We do offer like small moving, like A to B moving. So like moving a storage unit, for example.
Okay.
We just don't do like whole house moves.
Okay.
If you've got a need, we're going to try to figure out a way to solve your problem.
Tell me, what is your vision for where you see your company going? Are you envisioning this franchising and becoming huge, or are you liking kind of the growth pattern and staying more Metro Atlanta, or what's your plan?
Yeah, I mean, the plan, I think, just stays in line with our mission of building leaders. So we're only going to grow as fast as we have great leaders. We're not going to just have growth for the sake of growth. But what does that look like practically? I don't think the franchise model really fits our goal. So we really are looking more towards the Chick-fil-A model, where you have operators who are operating different locations and have a lot of autonomy at those locations, but they're still owned at the end of the day by the corporate, and they're provided a lot of support from corporate, and they're developed just as they're developing everybody under them. We would love to expand throughout Atlanta and the Southeast and beyond after that.
It's just a great company. You guys are both great. I always enjoy getting to see you, Ryan, and Joseph, you too. Yeah. Did you share all your contact information, your phone number as well?
Yeah, phone number is 404-738-9793. However you get to us, we'll make sure you're taken care of.
And a lot of people ask sometimes, Bill, real quick, what don't you take? I mean, pretty much we take everything as long as it's not flammable, or even we take flammable stuff. So it's not like some kind of explosive or hazardous material, no fireworks. But we pretty much take everything else, and we do as Joseph emphasized, we do the work for you. And really, there is something powerful about when your clutter is removed. Your stress goes down, and so that's something we love. We really love helping make people's lives better by helping them clear their junk and clear their mind.
So where can we find you on social media?
We're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. If you just search Joseph's Junk Removal, we're going to come right up.
Well, as a parting gift to joining me today, you'll have to fight for everything. You might already have one, Ryan.
I have 2. I have 2.
All right, let's go.
Bill Estate swag. You need your tailgate koozie.
I've got that. I'm
your
a
roadie
collector.
cup.
I'm a Bill Estate collector.
I've got you set.
Come on.
You're ready. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Bill.
so much. I appreciate it. And call Joseph's Junk Removal for any of your junk removal needs. Till next time, when you're ready to sell or buy, call your real estate agent. He's your guy. Thanks.